Hey guys, this video is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a review of an investment platform in the UK. And I haven't done a review of a platform or a review of any product on this YouTube channel before, but I think I've chosen a good one to review first, a really good product. I wanted to do a review of InvestEngine for a while. It's the new kid on the block for ETF and robo-investing, and to become the price leader in the UK when it comes to commission-free investing in ETFs, with zero account fees, zero trading fees, and zero FX fees. I've tested InvestEngine out myself, and I want to go through my own experiences, as I'm a big fan of the fees especially, and the low-touch nature of it all. But I also want to go through the reasons why InvestEngine won't be for everybody, and I'll come onto that in the later part of this video. In terms of the overall structure of this video, I'm going to split it up into two parts to reflect the two-part nature of the platform. The first part of the platform in the Manage For You option, which is basically a robo-investing service, I'll go through first. And then secondly, I'll go through the do-it-yourself service, which allows you to build your own portfolio of ETFs. So let me share my screen so you can see what I'm doing and so I can take you through the platform. Once you're signed up to the platform, you have two investment service options to create your portfolio. Firstly, do it yourself, and secondly, managed for you. As I mentioned before, I'm going to start off going through managed for you, as this is the service I've tested out before. So to select a managed for you portfolio, I just select create managed portfolio. Then it will bring up two account options. Firstly, an ISA, which enables you to benefit from that £20,000 annual tax allowance, or a personal account. I want to benefit from that tax allowance, so I'm going to choose a stocks and shares ISA. Then it will bring up ISA choices, open a new ISA or transfer an ISA. To keep things simple, I'm going to open a new ISA. Now it will start asking me questions to gauge my risk appetite and the type of portfolio I want. Of course, it's a robo-investing platform, so based on how I answer these questions, it builds the portfolio for me. So first, I've got to select the portfolio type, growth or income. So growth, obviously, you're looking at long-term gains, or income, which is focused on providing dividends, so for those who want a regular income source. For this one, I'm going to create a growth portfolio. Now it's asking me how much I would like to invest, and I'll say £100. And a series of questions will now follow to gauge that risk appetite, which will then determine the portfolio. So firstly, what proportion of your total investable assets will this portfolio represent? I'll put 0 to 25%. Select your annual income after tax. I'll go with the average UK salary range, so in this band between 25k to 50k. Select your investing time frame. I'll go long term. What is more important to you when investing? Minimizing losses, maximizing profit, or both equally? I'll put maximizing profit. Now it's asking you a scenario question. So what would you do if the market takes a downturn? So this is directly looking at your risk appetite. If you're a bit more risky, you buy more. So I'm going to select buy more. You get the gist of these questions. So I'll now run through these and bring up the next screen. So now I've answered all those questions. InvestEngine's selecting my portfolio. So based on how I answered those questions, InvestEngine uses algorithms to create an investment portfolio tailored to me, my risk appetite, and what I want out of that portfolio. So you can see here, the portfolio generated is 87% stocks, 8% bonds, and 5% alternatives, which I assume are precious metals, gold, silver. The time period is 20 years we're looking at. As I said, I was looking at a long-term horizon. And although it's already selected the weightings, the balance of the portfolio between stocks, bonds, and alternatives, if I'm not happy with it, I can actually adjust it. So I can reduce the percentage of stocks in the portfolio, which moves along to the low risk banding over here, as traditionally stocks are much more volatile and therefore more risky than bonds and precious metals. And I move it over to 75% stock, 20% bonds, 5% alternatives. I'm actually quite impressed by the makeup of this portfolio in terms of the percentages of stocks, bonds, and alternatives, and how this reflects the answers I put forward to those questions and the risk appetite I outlined in those questions. I think the percentage of stocks was 87% on here before I did some fiddling, and I think that's a good representation of my investment preferences based on how I answered those questions. My only grudge with this bar here in terms of adjusting the percentages of stocks, bonds, and alternatives is that there's a minimum and maximum. So you can only reduce the percentage of stocks to 45.4% for this specific portfolio based on how I answered the questions. And you can only increase the percentage of stocks to 91.9% based on how I answered the questions. So you can't adjust this portfolio completely to 100% stocks, 0% stocks, and same with bonds. So that's a slight grudge there, but there's still a good amount of flexibility. And the other grudge is regarding alternatives. So you can't adjust the percentages of alternatives at all based on how I answered the questions. But typically, investors don't have more than 5% of their portfolio in precious metals anyway, so this is just a minor grudge. On this page here, you can actually see the exact allocation of your portfolio too. So just click allocation. I can see the overall makeup here, but if I want to see a little bit more, dig a bit deeper, I can say show details. If I go down this page, it will show me the breakdown of stocks, bonds, and alternatives. So I can see here all the different ETFs InvestEngine has selected. I can see the different bonds selected and the alternatives, which is gold. So I can see here it's a global diversified portfolio. There's some percentage in the FTSE 100, the UK stock market, Japan stock market, the emerging markets, and different types of ETFs such as Asian population, with of course a big percentage going as well to the S&P 500 to get the exposure of the biggest stock market in the world in America. Assuming I'm happy with all of this, I'm happy with the makeup of those shares, I can select save and continue. It now warns me that this portfolio is different to the one they suggested, but assuming I'm happy with that new makeup of the portfolio, I select I understand. And now that investment portfolio has been created, so at this point I can still adjust the portfolio. I can add in the amount I wish to invest monthly to the portfolio. And as I said before, you can see the allocation if you want to as well in that globally diversified portfolio of ETFs. And the reason InvestEngine has chosen that globally diversified portfolio is to help you build wealth over the long term, whilst avoiding the risks of concentrating your investments too much in a specific company, industry, or country. So overall, this robo-investing managed for you service is great for those who want to invest but aren't inclined to manage their own portfolio, so want a low touch, low effort solution, or for those who just don't have the time to research specific stocks and ETFs. This is a great solution in terms of providing a means to invest in a really, really low touch way. InvestEngine do all the hard work for you in monitoring your portfolio, in rebalancing it over the long term. However, all of this does come at a cost, of course. It's a percentage fee cost of 0.25% a year based on your portfolio value. But that's an incredibly low fee when you compare it to the other robo-investing platforms out there. It's market leading, that fee. For example, Nutmeg, you may have heard of them, a big robo-investing service. They charge 0.45% as their lowest fee for their lowest account option. It's also worth pointing out that the ETFs themselves will attract their own costs. So the ETFs in this portfolio will have their own annual charges, but because they're ETFs, they're not actively managed funds, which tend to attract high fees. the fees are insignificant. They're small amounts, but it's just worth being aware of them, that those annual charges, and also the buy and sell market spreads associated with this. So that's part one of the platform, the managed for you robo-investing service. The other service offered by InvestEngine is the DIY do-it-yourself investment service, which focuses on building your own portfolio. So this is for those who want to have greater control over their investments and are happy to carry out their own investment decisions. Here again, if I select this, create DIY portfolio, I'm given an ISA or personal account option. This time I'm going to go with a personal account, and immediately we're brought to this list of ETFs. InvestEngine doesn't ask any questions like before. It doesn't need to gauge your risk appetite, as InvestEngine isn't choosing the portfolio for you. You're making your own decisions. You're choosing the makeup of your portfolio. So instead, you have control over which ETFs go into it. For this list of ETFs, InvestEngine allows you to purchase fractional ETFs, which basically means you can purchase a fraction, so a percentage of an ETF, and you don't have to purchase a full ETF, which basically means you have a little bit more flexibility in terms of how you want your portfolio to look. You're not driven by purchasing a full ETF at a time. ETF investing more generally as well, it's worth saying, it's a very cheap form of index investing, as ETFs track the performance of an index of either stocks, bonds, or commodities or other assets. And they provide a great means to gain a diversified portfolio as you're buying a group of assets. You can see here as well, it's quite a big long list of different ETF options. There's actually over 150 options in total, and this list is being regularly added to. There's obviously the big providers like iShares, you likely have heard of, Vanguard, one of the biggest ETF and index investing platforms in the world, and you recognize some of the indexes they track as well. So, for example, iShares FTSE 100 tracking the 100 largest shares by the FTSE 100 index. However, it is worth pointing out that 150 ETFs actually does pale in comparison when looking at other trading platforms which also offer stocks. So platforms such as Trading 212, Freetrade, the free trading apps, they offer over 5,000 stocks and ETFs each on there, whereas on this platform, on InvestEngine, you're only offered ETFs. It's worth pointing out that there's no individual stocks on this platform, so for those who want to pick and choose individual stocks, this isn't the platform for you. But for those who are only looking for a low-touch, low-cost ETF investment solution, this will definitely do the job. And the best part about the do-it-yourself service is that it attracts no platform fees, unlike the managed for you service. Even the free trading apps I just mentioned, Trading 212 and Freetrade, have some fees, such as FX fees. So it's a real winner for InvestEngine, a real selling point that they have no platform charges. And even better, at the moment, InvestEngine are offering a sign-up bonus of £50 for those looking to invest £100 on the platform. So that sign-up bonus makes it even more attractive for anyone looking for a low-touch ETF investment platform. Going back to this list of ETFs and how you build your portfolio, if you liked an ETF here, all you've got to do is select it. It will show you some of the details here. You can see the graph of past returns. You can add it just selecting add, and you can do the same thing for different ETFs. So say I wanted the iShares S&P 500, I wanted the exposure to America's, the biggest market in the world. Again, I'll select add to portfolio, and you can see the portfolio is building, and it shows me up here what's in the portfolio. And when I'm happy, and I've got quite a few options in here, I can select review, and I can select the exact percentages of those ETFs for the portfolio. And assuming I'm happy with that, I select save and continue. And now it's creating your portfolio. And you can see here, it brings up this screen. And here your portfolio is created. You can see all the key portfolio information. You have options to manage the portfolio, adding cash, editing the portfolio, setting up monthly top-ups like with the robo-investing service. It's all pretty self-explanatory, so I won't go into it. So that really is the second part of the platform, the DIY, do-it-yourself service, and completes the video. So overall, in conclusion, InvestEngine have produced a great investment platform for those wanting a low-touch way to invest, a low-cost way to invest. InvestEngine have the lowest fees out of any platform you invest ETFs in for their do-it-yourself platform, and the lowest fees in terms of robo-investing platforms I've seen. So it's great in terms of fees and in terms of low-touch nature. However, this platform won't suit those who want to invest in individual stocks, as there's none offered. But for those who want that low-touch, low-hassle investment platform, please check this out and use the bonus offer. There's actually a link in my bio to get that bonus if you want to check out the platform. Thank you.